11/11. Happy 11/11. It's been a while, but I could not let this day go by without sharing some cards that were called to me this morning. When I opened up my Goddess Guidance cards, this one was on the bottom, so I said I'm going to take it. And then I opened up the Soul's Journey lesson cards, and this one was there, Judgment. And then I went to my Crystal Spirit deck, and Obsidian came up, and then the Fates. So I'm going to go backwards in order of how the cards came out. The first card, the Fates, is from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And it's the number 17, which I just love because I love 1 and 7 so much. The essential meanings of this card is fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. I'm not a real big believer in the word fate, because I just really believe that we have control over everything. But this card begs to differ. The Oracle's message is, the Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with those events and your current circumstances have to teach you, and with what those events and those current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. The relationship message is, other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so you can remain in the relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. The prosperity message is, your experiences concerning prosperity and abundance are beyond your personal control right now. You are being invited to accept what is unreservedly. This could be a temporary situation seemingly thrust upon you by outside forces, but there's an underlying purpose you can't see that has been determined by the fates. It could be a situation you are unprepared for, and you may not understand how it will benefit you in the moment. Do not fight the situation. Ride it out and see where it leads. Surrender to it, and the serenity you need to make good choices from here on out will be given to you. You will indeed flourish. The protection message is, it is difficult to understand why painful things happen to good people. Fate is a mystery, after all. Yet what we do with our circumstances, the way in which we respond to life's challenges, is how we rise up to greet our destiny. Now is one of those times to be aware of your powerlessness to change certain situations and surrender to acceptance. Hang in there. Life will only get better. Act as if you believe that, for the only thing you can control right now is your attitude. When you align with the fates, being mindful of what you can and cannot change, serenity will come to you. So that's the fates. And see how she's holding on to those stars, because she still has hope. There's still hope. Catch a rising star in any situation. So there is a sense of certain control over that. Definitely. Your attitude towards, you know, situations in life and how you, it's like alchemy. That's what I see it as, like alchemy. Because any bad situation, you can flip to a good situation. You just have to see the lesson in it. So, I like that card. So we're going to go backwards to Obsidian, which is so beautiful. I have black Obsidian. It's a protection stone. And it's beautiful. It's number 39. Observing the self-reflection. Know thyself. When you look in the mirror, who looks back at you? How do you view yourself? Oh, remember the mirror on the wall? The obsidian mirror or the crystal ball is made out of obsidian, black obsidian. So this is so good. I can't wait to read more. Do you look into your own eyes and see someone willing to acknowledge the past and learn from it? Do you see someone willing to step into a new identity, one more suited to the life you want for yourself? All of us are ever changing, and a mix of past, present, and hopes for the future. The challenge is to trust that you are becoming, the you that you are becoming will be loved, cherished, and supported, even if you are still just exploring your potential, still unfamiliar with the new territory you have entered. As you ponder what you wish to change, love the one you're with. You. Love yourself in all your complexity, knowing that whatever strengths you need are present. The Obsidian Spirit is here to amplify them through the power of self-awareness. Just as in observing a particle or a wave, the observer can change its form, so, too, in observing yourself, can you begin the process of personal transformation. You are going to love the you that you're becoming. The relationship message is, self-awareness means stopping long enough to acknowledge who you see when you observe yourself, the beautiful you and the you who is imperfect. We are all works in progress, and as you engage in honest self-reflection, you will start to see what you were overlooking, the qualities you have been seeking in a partner but have forgotten exist within you. You have so much to offer. As the ancient Greek axiom goes, know thyself. That's so funny because we all know that that's really not a Greek axiom. That is an ancient Kemet Egyptian axiom, but we're going to go ahead and let these cards flow because the person who wrote it is coming from a different cultural perspective. So they haven't researched farther back to find out exactly where that axiom comes from. That's so interesting. To be authentic in any relationship, you have to know yourself. Basically, that's what she's saying. You have to know and love yourself just as you are. And Obsidian Spirit is here to remind you that you are awesome. The prosperity message, do you know your patterns? Do you know where your money and efforts go? Or is it all a big mystery? Hold on 1 second. I need to close my balcony door. I had it open because I love the sound of the rain, but my neighbors are out and smoking and talking, and I don't want y'all to hear that in the background. I don't knock what they do. It's just I want to be comfortable, and I want you to be able to hear me. So, do you know your patterns? Do you know where your money and efforts go? Or is it all a big mystery at the end of the month? Obsidian Spirit, gentle message for you is to stop being afraid of looking at your relationship with money. For you have a serious tendency to underestimate your ability to manage the flow of abundance in your life. To experience the prosperity you deserve, answer the call to heal your old fear-based habits. Fearful frugality and gee, I hope they love me now. Generosity will not serve you on the healing journey. See, I'm going to read that again because so many of us make this, mistake in our judgment. Fearful frugality, meaning being afraid to spend on something you may need or want. Always being cheap, basically. And then G, I hope they love me now, generosity. You know how we go out of our way to spend our money on people to get them things in a hope that they will love you more or like you more, or even spend money on material things for ourselves to look a certain way, to fit in a certain way, so that people will accept us more and love us more or like us. That's out the window. It's time to stop doing that. It's time to heal the womb of lack mentality and step into the light of abundance, which is what my business HAPI Light Being is all about. And I got a big promotion coming up soon to help us all come out of that fear mentality and lack mentality and step into our abundance, which is, it's our birthright to be abundant. So any discomfort you have in looking at your relationship to finances is simply part of a necessary transition to accepting yourself as you are today, right now in this moment, and you must accept yourself as you are for healing to take place. So if you are bad with money, or you spend money in a negative manner, or you have made some mistakes in how you spend or your relationship with money, it's time to really look at it and try to heal that. It's time to look at it and tell yourself, you know what? I did this. I shouldn't have did it, and now I'm going to do better. And that's, it's easy to admit that to yourself. I had to do it. I had a horrible relationship with money for the longest of time. I'm always afraid that I wasn't going to have it, or being afraid of what I was going to do with it when I did have it. So it's time to, be a little more self-aware of that. Oh, self-awareness is always a good thing. Look at that. And it will lead you to feeling comfortable and confident in growing your abundance. Obsidian is a glass-like volcanic rock that forms when lava cools rapidly without crystallization. There are many types, but the most well-known is black obsidian. This protective and grounding stone assists us in cleansing the energy field, as well as in identifying, clearing old negative emotions or thought patterns. So that means obsidian is more connected to our root chakra, our trust. I trust, I am safe, I am secure, I am grounded, I am connected. So that's what the obsidian crystal is more connected to. And maybe I'll offer that in one of my on my website so that you can purchase it and carry it around in your pocket. I like to put it in my purse, near my wallet. And so any situation I'm in, wherever I am, I'm protected in the knowledge that I am safe, and I have trust in any situation. I'm secure, So let's move on to the souls. So that was the Crystal Spirits Oracle. And then we're going to move on to the soul's journey, which I love this card, Judgment. I understand that everyone has their unique path and challenges, and this is why I do not judge my neighbors for smoking every 5 minutes. I do not try to judge people who make different choices of their spiritual path or religious journeys in their lives. What they choose to do is it's beautiful to me. It's like, because you're following your soul's journey, your soul's path, even if that means you're going to step in some doo-doo. There's always a way to clean the doo-doo off your shoes. So therefore, I really believe that we should not, as human beings, judge each other. That comes from ego-based realities. It's time to step more into spirit-based realities, where we don't judge people, where we might have compassion for people, because we're human too. And sometimes what we're observing is really just an aspect of what's going on within ourselves. Okay? We are all spirit. We are all the same. I apologize for the noise in the background of this video. My neighbors can be very loud, and they so beautiful. Beautiful couple, but they can be very loud sometimes. So that means I don't get to enjoy the rain or the air coming in. We are all spirit. We are all the same. It's only the roles we have chosen to play here on earth that make us seem different. The biggest lesson you have chosen to learn is to love. There are so many situations in this physical dimension that it is possible to incarnate into, but the core lesson is to look past these illusions and see yourself in every one. Each soul has chosen its own struggles, and your task is not to judge how someone goes about overcoming these obstacles, but to assist that soul. Spirit has given you the tools of compassion and empathy to help you see through the eyes of those who appear different. Your ego has taught you that making other people feel insignificant or inferior will allow you to feel better about yourself. That is an illusion. By diminishing others, you diminish yourself. Always learn to follow the golden rule. I will treat others as I would like to be treated. Everyone in your life is here to teach you something about yourself. Accept the lesson with love and understanding. I think I'm going to go live with this card today because I think we all need to hear it. And this card is just confirmation of a beautiful message I received last night. MAAT, fairness. The situation will be handled in a fair, just manner. I so connect with MAAT, as a lot of people know in my life. I love the fact that she is, look at how she's holding the scales. And of course, I'm a Libra. So that's right on time. I even have a nickname of Queen MAAT that a friend of mine tends to call me from Brooklyn. Tim Rootsman, he calls me Queen MAAT. So it's just so funny that this card would come up. It was the first card I pulled today, and I didn't pull the card. I literally opened the box of the Goddess Guidance Oracles and just flipped it to the bottom, and she was sitting there just staring at me. So I really love this card. The message from MAAT is, let me suggest another definition for fairness. It's when all parties involved surrender their personal agendas in favor of the greater good for the entirety of the group. This requires trust in the wisdom of the whole. When it comes to matters of disputes, the attacks are based on fears that you may not receive your share. Yet attacks amplify the hurt and the pain that caused the dispute in the first place. Why not surrender your attachment to a specific outcome and instead direct your holy will toward the resolution of the argument? Hold a firm vision of a peaceful outcome and let the pieces fall into place in a harmonious manner. So she's all about that balance, that fairness, justice. So various meanings of this card is a lawsuit will be resolved, a dispute will end harmoniously, you'll be treated fairly. Keep everyone's needs in mind during negotiations. Release guilt and shame, as these emotions can attract a punishing attack. Ma'at is the Egyptian or the commission goddess of integrity, fairness, and justice, who holds a scale that measures souls against a feather at the time of death to detect any heaviness from guilt. Ma'at protects us in business and personal relationships, ensuring that we're treated fairly and honorably. Call upon her before signing any contract, during a dispute, or whenever you feel guilty or remorseful. So I think each one of these cards is a representation. It's kind of clarity to, each card clarifies itself. We have Ma'at, judgment, right? She judges the souls. And then we have Obsidian, which is about knowing yourself, right? The mirror, seeing yourself as really who you are, which is in the fate about having the control only of yourself, right? And not every situation. So I thank you so much for joining me in this reading, because today is 11/11. Today is a beautifully spiritual angel number day. We have 11/11/2020, which is huge to me because, it's 1111 1, 1, 2, 2. So that balances out to 4. Be happy, be light, be love. Take time to do what makes your soul happy. And remember, we are love. Namaste.